Hey everybody, welcome back to Katie's ukulele practice sessions that you get to watch. Um, so in one of my recent videos, I was saying how discouraged I was that I thought I couldn't find any Jonathan Colton songs that I could play on the ukulele because of his just monstrous talent on the ukulele and other stringed instruments. But I was a little hasty in my assumption, and I did find a few that I could do. And one I technically already did a video for, but it literally ended up being over an hour long. Don't ask. So I'm scrapping that one because it's bad. The singing and all was fine, but the rest of it is just nobody wants that. Not even me. So I'm doing it again. Okay. But I also found, and again, this one I think I already had like a tab open, like, oh yeah, I should look into that song at some point. But I hadn't practiced it yet because at the time when I found it, I was like, how does that go again? It had just been a while. But then again this morning, I woke up with it in my head, or maybe it was yesterday, one of the two. And I was like, I should try that song. And then I didn't get around to it yesterday. So once again, I've learned a song in like the last less than half an hour. Yeah, because it took me a while to get set up here. So yeah, I basically played through it once, made a couple of notes, changed a couple of things, and yeah, so I'm gonna do that one first since it's fresher in my head, and then I'll practice the other one and do a separate video for it. But this one, when you go, funnily enough, since I was complaining about how hard his instrumentation is, this song has no instrumentation. It is an a cappella song, but it's done in kind of the college a cappella group style. I think it's Jonathan Colton himself doing all of the different harmonies, but you kind of need to listen to the original. I am not gonna be able to explain it well, but it's like ba da ba da ba da 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 in the background throughout the whole song. But it's harmonies and it's great. And then he's singing the melody of, on top of all of that. So it's kind of funny that the first one I'm going to do of his actually doesn't have any instrumentation. It's just someone took the time to make the chords for it if you wanted to play it on ukulele. So thank you to whoever did this. On that ultimate guitar or ultimate tabs or what. I really am going to look up the URL. Maybe I'll put it in the description here so you can actually see what it is. Hopefully I'll remind myself to do that before I release this video. Anyway, so it was just kind of ironic to me that the one song I picked to start with, I mean, I didn't mean to start with it. It's working out that way, but whatever, is one that he doesn't actually play on anything other than his voice. But it's a beautiful song. This is a song about loss and grief, and it definitely hit home real hard when Onyx passed away. And it still reminds me of her anytime I hear it or sing it or whatever. Just in my brain, that's who I associate it with, because since learning the song, I think that's the biggest loss I've had. So I'm sure in the future it will apply to other people as well. And yes, I think of my darling Onyx dog as a person. She's a people to me. So yeah, so this reminds me of her, and just for context, wanted to let you know who I think of when I sing it. But this could apply to anyone that you've lost in it. And it's very open-ended. So you can, for interpretation, you can use it for someone who's died, someone who's just left you, etc. There are many forms of loss. So I like that this song lends itself to help anyone going through a loss, just as a comfort. Like, there are others feeling the same way or who have felt the same way. So I like songs like this that just remind you you're not alone when you're going through something like that. And it's not like I'm going through a new loss right now. That's not why I'm doing this. Like, I'm still, recuperating from Onyx's loss, and that was almost 5 years ago. In December it will be. But yeah, I'm sure this will be a song that will come back to me many times as I get older. And as people I love get older and, nature takes its course. But yeah, there was no real reason other than I found it as one I could play. I liked the song, and then it popped into my head, and I was like, oh, right, that's how it goes. And I took that as a sign as I needed to sing it. And it's not hard to play. Maybe I should have highlighted those B minors. I think I'll remember that. And there's a B7 in here. I didn't make a notation of the B minor. I mean, I know what it is now, but usually I make a notation. Okay, let's just do this and hope. Sorry. What is it with my nose? I think it's just the changing of the season. Making it super annoying. So anyway, if you can bear with my snot. Ignore that comment. Getting back to the serious, beautiful song by Jonathan Coulton. When You Go. Only a moment ago we had nothing but time. Everything lasted forever and you were all mine. Only a dream, I know, thinking you'd never go, tearing off pieces of myself just for the time it buys me. Fold my heart up small or break it into pieces. Find somewhere and keep it there. Take it when you go. There in the frame of your face, in the cast of your eyes, I saw this coming, but still I am caught by surprise. All of this time I knew that I'd be losing you. That doesn't mean that it's okay. That doesn't mean I'm ready. should have practiced that one or two more times before I started, because I realized by the end I was nailing the B minor and B7 a lot easier than I was at the beginning. Sorry. I'm just not used to, I don't use those chords nearly as much as the rest of these, and I'm not even sure what key this is in. D maybe, if I had to guess. But yeah, it's just, oh, it's such a good song. So I didn't have to learn any, new chords for this one, but I definitely had to be reminded of a couple of chords and actually use some that I don't use very often. I don't know why I'm talking about chords. Whatever, it's a thing I do. But I think you all get the point of the song. Because I like to dissect songs, sorry. Like, I'm not one to dissect poetry, but I know songs are just another form of poetry. But this one doesn't need dissection. It's not like it's not obvious. It's just, I love the phrasing. He does a really, really good job with his phrasing. Yeah, I'm not going to read through all of it again, but just only a moment ago we had nothing but time, everything lasted forever, and you are all mine. Only a dream I know, thinking you'd never go. So, the inevitability of loss, there in the frame of your face and the cast of your eyes, I saw this coming, but still I am caught by surprise. All of this time I knew that I'd be losing you. That doesn't mean it's okay. That doesn't mean I'm ready. That verse in particular, like, I think of Onyx for sure every time, because again, I saw it coming. I knew she was sick that almost entire last year of her life. Was just trying to get ahead of the next whatever that went wrong. And trying to make her as comfortable as possible and keep her happy. And then eventually, and it took me longer than it should have, but it was my first time dealing with my own pet like that, coming to the end of its life and me having to make that decision. So yeah, I hung on longer than I should have, but yeah, I saw it coming, but still I'm caught by surprise. So even if you know someone who's terminally ill, or whether it's a pet or a person, doesn't matter. Something or someone that you love, even if you know that the loss is coming, it still hurts. It doesn't matter how long you've known it's coming. It still hurts just as much. I don't know if just as much as, it's probably just a different kind of hurt. I haven't experienced enough like sudden, unexpected deaths versus expected ones so I can't speak to that. But it hurts all the same. I know that much, no matter whether you know it's coming or not. And yeah, all this time I knew I'd be losing you. That doesn't mean it's okay. It doesn't mean I'm ready. Because you're never ready. It's never okay. It's just, it's a fact of life, but yeah. And then regret. Yeah, some things we always remember, some things we forget. No way to make it up now, no room for regret. That's no good for anyone. So I come undone. Yeah. And that definitely, again, speaks to me with Onyx. Like, there are some memories I have that are so crystal clear, and others, Adam will like remind me of something funny she used to do, and I'm like, oh yeah, she did used to do that, didn't she? So thank goodness I married someone with a great memory, because mine is not. And sometimes I'll look at old pictures or old videos, and I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot she used to do this funny thing. But that's just, that always happens. You think you're going to remember everything about this individual or this thing, whatever this loss is, but over time you just don't. And it doesn't even matter how good or bad your memory is. Even I would expect those with really, really good memories they probably hang on to them longer. But for those of us with average or maybe below average, in my case, memories, yeah, we forget even though we don't intend to. It's just the nature of the beast. You're never going to remember everything about that experience. And there's no way to make it up now. No room for regret. That's no good for anyone, which is true. Like, you can't beat yourself up if you just don't remember everything or you didn't handle it exactly the way you should have, or because there's no really one good way to handle loss. There's just not. Everyone handles it differently, and the situation makes you handle it differently and makes you feel differently about it. So yeah, I guess it's pretty self-explanatory. I'm just waxing lyrical, because I think part of this really is born out of the Alohomora podcast that I'm on. I'm the producer of it now, so I'm not on it as much as a host, but I still still come on episodes from time to time. But we've had so many conversations about grief and loss because that is such a massive part of the Harry Potter series. That's like, if you had to boil it down to one main topic, that's it. And was a big inspiration in the author's personal life when she was writing it. So that comes through in the story. So we've talked about things like this before when we're talking about chapters or topics, or like we did a whole episode about death. I think I was on that one, wasn't I? It was really good. Whether I was or not, I remember it being a good episode. Yeah. So just saying this now, I guess, in case you lose somebody in the near future, come back and listen to me talk about this again. Maybe it'll help. I don't know. Maybe it won't. But just going from my own limited experience and experiences I've heard from others, and have read about, because even if it's fiction, it's based on emotions and things that the author has gone through themselves. Most of the time. Sometimes they're just making stuff up. But I know in this case, it was based on real feelings. So, yeah. I'm not going to get into my other feelings about the author right now. That's why I keep saying the author and not her name. But I can at least say I know that part of the story, or of the backstory of the story, and I trust that, and I think that's real, because she had just lost her mother during, actually I think it was right before the first book was actually published. She was kind of keeping it a secret because she didn't want to like get her mom's hopes up and then it not come to anything. So I don't even think her mother knew she had written the Harry Potter series when she died, and I think that's a regret that the author will always have, that she didn't share that with her, or wasn't able to share the joy with her of it being published and becoming so popular. Yeah. So I'm making myself really not depressed, but just sad right now. So I need to stop this video, and it's long. I'm sorry. But I'm happy that I was able to do a Joko song, and I'm going to try to now do another, but I'm going to practice that one first. Not that I didn't practice this one, but I literally only played through it like once or twice downstairs. And then I just came up and I'm like, yeah, I just played it. I'm good to go. I should have known better. Should have known better. Anyway, the next song will make sense of the shirt that I'm wearing. But honestly, all Joko songs could be sung to this shirt, just because people who know Joko know why. So that's what I'm gonna leave you with. And sorry, there's something in my eye all of a sudden, and don't you just love it when that happens? Especially when you have dry eyes, it happens a lot more often. It sucks. But anyway, I'm gonna go now before I make myself even more sad, and I'm going to sing another song that's not. It's not sad. It's just whatever. We'll get to that one in a minute. Or for me in a minute. It'll be a few days for y'all probably, but whatever. We'll get to that in the next video. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Love you guys. Hope you're having a great day. Bye.